The patient ones will be the rich ones because investing is a long-term game. You don't put in $1 today and become a millionaire tomorrow. You must put in $1 today and be worth $10 tomorrow, and be worth $5 the next day, and be worth $12 the day after, and then be worth $1 the day after that, and then be worth $15 the day after that, and then $8 the day after that, and then $20 the day after that, and so forth, and so forth. If you do not have patience, then you cannot make it. And you cannot have patience if you invest more than you can comfortably lose. That is my rule number one. Now, we're going to go through some of Warren Buffett's quotes, but that is my quote. Never invest more than you can comfortably lose. If the stock market crashed, if everything in the world went to zero, I would be okay. Nothing in my life would change because I do not invest more than what I could comfortably lose. I used to because I didn't have a choice. I was homeless on the streets. What am I going to lose? I may as well go for broke. I'm not here to tell you what to do in your situation. No, that's your situation. And nobody in the world can understand your situation more than you. But what you can do is soak up experience from other people. And that's what we're going to do here. Warren Buffett has made lots and lots of money. And he's got really good quotes that really do fit into the market. That's legacy markets. That's crypto market. It works. All his words fit. It's a good sentiment. So we're going to read this from sarwa.com. Link in the description below. Now, before we go to this one, I want to go to one of my all-time favorite quotes from Warren Buffett. The stock market is a device for transferring money from the impatient to the patient. And that is so very true. That is unbelievably true. When I first started investing many years ago, I was impatient. I wanted to be rich now. I was tired of eating out of dumpsters. I was tired of the violence that the streets presented me with. I was tired of the only way that I knew was the streets. So when the streets presented me with the hurdles of the streets, I confronted the streets with the only way I knew how, the way the streets had taught me. And it wasn't a patient teaching. It was a very impatient teaching. So unfortunately, I took those things that I learned on the streets and carried them with me into the investment world, and I was impatient. I was rash. I made bad decisions. Then as time went on and the market slapped me around a little bit and I discovered the things that started to make money, I said, okay, I need to stop what I'm doing and figure out a better way. And the better way is patience. Use case and research. Because if you do your research and you find a wonderful project and it's an amazing project, then you know it's going to go up because it's a good project. It's got good use cases. It solves a problem. It fills a niche, whatever the case may be. Of course, it's going to go down. But then it's going to go back up because it's a good project. If it's a good project, it's not going anywhere but up in the long run. Obviously, we're going to have dips in the way. So let's read some of these. Top 20 Warren Buffett quotes to inspire your investment goals. So we're going to skip down here. You can read all the fine print. I just want to go over his quotes and then what they mean and interpretation as far as I see them, and then put in my 2 cents. The most important of Warren Buffett's quotes. Rule number 1, never lose money. Rule number 2 is never forget rule number 1. Yep, they call that Warren Buffett's golden rule. Yeah, I'm going to caveat that a little bit and say, well, you are going to lose money. It's just in the long term. When the stock market is down, let's say you buy something for $1. Okay? and it stays a dollar, well, you're even. Now, if it drops 50 cents, you've had a 50% drop. If it goes up to $1.50, well, congratulations, you've had a 50% gain. But if time goes on and that dollar drops in the short term and you sell, you've lost money. But if that dollar drops and in the short term you hold and it goes up, you've made money. You only lose money if you sell at a loss. I've had some investments that I've held on to for a really, really long time. I've had some that went along, looked like they were going good, they dropped, they plummeted, they were worth less than what I bought them for, so obviously I'm not going to sell them because, well, that would be a loss. I don't like losses. I could do some tax harvesting, I guess, but I would rather hold on to them for the gains because, well, they're good projects. They're just going through some issues right now. It's a really weird time. In my head, I have confidence that they will go up. But you lose a little bit of money, but your patience makes that money loss into a money gain because, well, the project, the market will go back up again. It's just the nature of it. Someone is sitting in the shade today because someone planted a tree a long time ago. You are investing for your future, I presume. You are investing because either you are tired of being poor, you just want to be rich. You look at your kids, you look at your wife, you look at your husband, you look at your boyfriend, your girlfriend, whoever, mom, dad, I don't care, whatever. Whoever you love in your life, and you want them to have a good life. You look at them and you say, I don't want them to struggle. I don't want the future me's to struggle. My mindset is many generations from now, I want me and mine to look at a photo of me after I am long gone and dead and turned to dust and say, Crypto Joe, he made good decisions. He had a hard life, a rough upbringing, came from below zero. And he made good decisions and made it because he made good decisions. Our family today does not struggle. Our family today is taken care of. That's what I look at that shade as. You plant your trees today so that your children, the future yous, the ones that carry your bloodline, your name, your legacy, have a legacy to continue with. Have a legacy to build upon themselves. Have a base to say, hey, this ancestor of mine did it. I can do it too. It's all about the future. What's the meaning of life? It's not the hardest question in the world. What's the meaning of life? Well, shoot. The meaning of life is life. Not our lives. Our children's lives. Our grandchildren's lives. Those generations that come after us, the idea should be that we want to make a better world for them. We want them to have an easier time. We don't want them to struggle. We don't want them to pull their hair out in anguish in life. We want them to smile. We want them to have a good life. And so we plant the trees today so that future generations can sit in the shade and not have the scorching sun burn them. If you aren't willing to own a stock for 10 years, don't even think about owning it for 10 minutes. And yeah, boy, I wish I had paid attention to that in the beginning. I couldn't tell me how many stocks I have that are a bit of a sore point even still to this day, both traditional and crypto, that I got into early and thought it was a good project, liked the fundamentals, liked the white paper, and invested. And then a couple months go by and first darn dip, first bit that shows a little bit of trouble, first time that it seems like it's going sideways and it's never going above this price. Well, we did an amazing run from 10 cents up to 65 cents, and now it's just stuck at 65 cents, and you start listening to all the comments. People saying, well, this coin is stuck, I'm selling, it's done. We're not going anywhere, it's been running sideways for months, this and that. And then you sell it. And next thing you know, A couple months go by and you decide, what was that project? How is it doing now? And you look, and it's at $4. One of these days, I will learn to forget all those dumb mistakes. How? I don't know. Our favorite holding period is forever. Yeah, I feel like I've held on to some stuff forever, too. Boy, I wish I had some of this knowledge when I first started. Patience, patience, patience. Investing is so easy. It's so simple. I see day traders, I see swing traders. And I never tried day trading. I did try swing trading for a little bit, and I do not recommend it in the least bit. You want to talk about living on the edge and living pulling your hair out and living on the stock market. Your eyes will be glued to your phone, to your computer, 24 hours a day, pretty much. Patience. Patience is the easy man's way of getting rich. And it's easy. What do? Well, you research. You find a project you like that meets your needs, and you invest in it. And after that, you hold. The secret and the key to the whole thing and everything is to never invest more than you can comfortably lose. If everything crashed, if everything went to zero, I'm fine. Nothing is going to change here. Life will go on. If everything went to zero and there was no chance of me getting any of my investment money back on anything, I would be just fine. Absolutely nothing would change here. If you can't survive the dips, you can't see the gains on the other side. And if you invest more than you can comfortably lose, none of these quotes, none of these rules will help. If you invest more than you can comfortably lose, there is not a darn thing anyone can possibly do to help you when the market goes down. You're going to get wrecked. Because if you put in more than you can lose. There are Reddits of people who have taken loans on their houses. And then the market crashed. Now they're saying, well, I lost my house. Well, why did you put up your house? Never invest more than you can comfortably lose. That should be rule number one. That should be the golden rule before all other rules, because if you do not obey that rule, no other rule can save you. It's just the truth of it. Price is what you pay. Value is what you get. Are you going to invest really an insane deal on a mediocre company? Or do you get a fair deal on an extremely good company? I would rather take the fair deal on the extremely good company because value is in direct correlation to the value of what you're investing in. Price, that's what you're paying. Value, value's relative to price. I don't want a mediocre company that I got at a great deal. I want a great company that I got at a fair deal. It is far better to buy a wonderful company at a fair price than a fair company at a wonderful price. Yeah, just as I said, it's self-explanatory. If you wanted to buy into a cryptocurrency when it first came out and it's kind of an iffy cryptocurrency, why would you invest into it? You want a good cryptocurrency at a fair price. The most important quality for an investor is temperament, not intellect. And I agree. My intellect has been the same my whole life. I've learned a little bit here and there, but the general basis of my intellect has been the same. My temperament, however, has changed. I went from rash, impulsive, wanting to be a millionaire now. I don't want to eat out of those dumpsters anymore. I don't want to sleep under that bush one more day. I don't want to have to defend myself against someone trying to steal my 100-year-old valueless shoes simply because they're shoes and he wants them. I want that change now. But that didn't work that way. because that's not the way life works. That's not the way the stock market works. I want. I want it now. I want it here. I want it now. I want to go to bed and be rich tomorrow. Well, of course, we all do. But you need to change that temperament. Patience. Patience is where it's at. Patience will get you off the streets. Patience will get you to a point where you can actually afford a dentist, where you can afford to eat, where you can afford nice things for once in my life. Patience. Risk comes from not knowing what you are doing. Yeah. I've gotten into a few projects that I had no idea what I was doing. And here's the problem. Because I had no idea what I was doing, and I had no idea about the project. I had no idea if it was even a good project. I had to go based upon what everybody else said, and I have told you before, if you do your own research, you will be secure in your own projects, and you don't have to rely on other people to tell you if your project is good or not. You can see for yourself. And once you learn these things, you will see that everybody and their brother shills their coin. Everybody's project is the project. Excuse me. Everybody's investment is the future. Everybody's crypto is the one that will make you rich. But if you stand on your own 2 feet, you can hear what other people say, but you can make your own decisions. If I was a watchmaker and you knew nothing about watches, how to tell what a good watch is, what a bad watch is, and I made a really crappy watch, but I was able to convince you that it was an expensive watch, well, then I'm going to fleece you. Take you for everything you're worth. Know what you're getting into. Do your research. Which goes into number 9, which is never invest in a business you cannot understand. Because if you cannot understand it, how are you going to understand if it's doing good or if it's doing bad? If you don't understand it, then all you're relying on is the people who own that business or other people who invest in it telling you if it's good or bad. And if you rely on that, you may as well put some goggles on, walk over to them and tell them, guide you through the rest of your life, because that's what you're doing. You're walking blind. You need to know what it is that you're investing in, what it does, and what the dangers are. How do you know it's doing good? How do you know it's doing bad? Well, you've got to know. The most important investment you can make is in yourself. Yes. For the longest time on the streets, I was consumed with nothing but survival. That's all you can do. It's a revolving door and a self-fulfilling prophecy. You get so caught in survival that you can't do anything other than survive. At one point, I had to stop and invest in myself and say, survival, I can take this. I can take this money that I was going to eat with and invest it into my future. It's only $5. But you know what? I'm going to find someone that knows how to invest, and I'm going to have them show me. I'm going to beg them to teach me. I'm going to tell them I am tired of being on the streets. Aren't you tired of me being on the streets too? Wouldn't you rather me be a taxpayer rather than a tax user? And so I did. And that was an investment in myself. And it was a huge investment, probably the most important investment that I made, being on the streets, trying to survive every single day so that way I actually survived and didn't die. And taking the time out of survival in order to learn about the future. That was an investment, and it was a risky investment because I put a pause in my survival so that way I can have a future. Never depend on a single income. Make an investment to create a second source. Yeah, I have, 10, 11 different sources of income, from dividend yields, staking pools, liquidity pools, dividends, you name it. Multiple sources of income. Some of them large, some of them not so small, but $1 a month is $1 a month. If you invest and you're making $1 a month, man, congratulations, you're making $1 a month. That's amazing. Now repeat it. Turn it to $2. Repeat that process. Turn it into $4. Repeat that process. Turn it into $8. Have patience. And do the work. I will tell you how to become rich. Close the doors. Be fearful when others are greedy. Be greedy when others are fearful. Yeah. Market has recovered this morning. Everybody was greedy yesterday and last night, and I wasn't. I followed my plan. I bought at the regular day. And guess what? The market has recovered nicely this morning, and just overnight, just on what I regularly invested and regularly put in, because I didn't look at the market like the others and say, well, it's a good project. It's not going anywhere. Everybody is fearful. And I made my purchase, and it's already worth a few $100s more. I've already made overnight more than most people make in a week, because I don't pay attention to fear and greed in other people. As far as like, if people are fearful, I'm fearful. If people are greedy, I'm greedy. No. When people are greedy and that candle is green and it's way up there, I get a little nervous because I've got these gains. Why do I want to lose them? If I'm up 120% or 120,000% or even just 10%, and I'm looking at that green candle like it's going to go down. It is absolutely going to go down at some point. And I've got all these percentage gains. I don't want to lose them. No matter how great the talent or efforts, some things just take time. You can't produce a baby in 1 month by getting 9 women pregnant. You get one baby in 9 months by getting 1 woman pregnant. Yeah. Not sure if I exactly like that quote, but I get the sentiment. I get it. It's patience. It's time. Your prices are going to go up. Your prices are going to go down. They're going to go sideways. People are going to say the sky is falling. It's over. It's zero. Sell. What are you doing? You're an idiot. And there's going to be pressure. Believe in yourself. Believe in your plan. Before you started investing, you did sit down and write yourself a plan, right? You are not investing more than you can comfortably lose, right? So then who cares? Why not? Leave it in, write it out, and see the gains on the other side. Today, people who hold cash equivalents feel comfortable. They shouldn't. They have opted for a terrible long-term asset, one that pays virtually nothing and is certain to depreciate in value. Yeah. The value of the dollar has steadily dropped since the 70s when it went off the gold standard, or 40s or 30s, or hell, I don't remember off the top of my head. Whenever it is, we went off the gold, peg to the gold. Well, yeah, the dollar's steadily been dropping. The dollar is an investment that will lose you money. Just by holding it, you're going to lose money. It's just the weirdest investment you could possibly think of. If the dollar was an investment tool, an investment company, something you could invest in like a regular stock market and people could see the ticker, nobody would invest in it. Which is weird because you can see the ticker for the dollar and the value of the dollar, and it looks like a plummeting stone. We never want to count on the kindness of strangers in order to meet tomorrow's obligations. When forced to choose, I will not trade even a night's sleep for the chance of extra profits. Good. I didn't want to rely on the kindness of strangers either, because it's just not there. I couldn't tell you how many times I'd be close to badness, starving, dehydration, hitchhiking, and stuck out in the middle of nowhere, and nobody's going to pick you up. Kindness of strangers is few and rare. You have to rely on yourself. You have to rely on your brain. You have to rely on your own research. If you rely on your own research, you can be secure in your own thoughts. You don't have to rely on other people because you've done your own research. That way, When other people are going around saying the sky is falling and things are going bad and, hey, you may as well sell, you can look at them and say, no, I have done my own research. I trust in myself, and I'm not going to sell just because someone says that I should. I know what I'm doing. I know my project. I know how it works. I know who the head people are. I know the news in the project. I understand the fundamentals, and it's a good project, and I'm going to hold on to it. And here in time, when the project goes back up, you're the one that's going to be coming to me saying, dang, I should have stayed in the project, because that's just the way it always works. Don't pass up something that's attractive today because you think you will find something better tomorrow. Yeah. Stick to your plan. I have an investment time where I invest a certain amount at a certain day, and you have to stick to it because you can get on the computer, you can look at the price, and you can look at the price rising and falling, and you're getting ready to hit that enter button and snipe your price. But then you wait. You're like, well, I can wait. I can get a better price. I can get a better price. And before you know it, you've waited a day and you've just broken your own plan. And the minute you break your plan once, it makes it easier to break it again. You have to stay consistent. Consistency is another big, huge one. Let's see here. Forecasts may tell you a great deal about the forecaster. They tell you nothing about the future. Yeah. People will tell you what they feel about the project, not how the project's doing. When trillions of dollars are managed by Wall Streeters charging high fees, it will usually be the managers who reap outsized profits, not the clients, and that's the way it's always worked. That's always the way it's worked. The benefit always goes to those at the top. That's why they're at the top. Just be aware that when people try to sell you something or do something, it's benefiting them. There's always a benefit for the other person. You just have to figure out what that benefit is. The best chance to deploy capital is when things are going down. Yeah, I like to buy on the way down if possible, but I like the dollar cost average because studies have shown that dollar cost averaging is about the only way you can give yourself a chance to beat the market. It beats the best investors. It really does. Wall Street is the only place that people ride into a Rolls Royce to get advice from those who take the subway. Don't live above your means. People in a Rolls Royce have spent that money on a Rolls Royce. The people on the subway, well, they've got that money stashed away, invested. I appreciate you guys in these turbulent times. Patience is a virtue. Patience. I wish patience was a stock. I wish patience was something that you could invest in. Patience will make you rich. It really will. Not financial advice. Just advice from someone who's come up from the dirty, rotten, violent streets to where I am now, which is not in a bad spot. I appreciate you guys. I want you guys to be successful. And I hope to see you guys on the next one. You're amazing. And you have a good day, a good evening, a good morning, or a good night, whatever it is, wherever you are. Thank you.